Have you guys ever had an Oreo cake? And I'm not talking about an Oreo cheesecake or an Oreo ice cream cake. I'm talking about an actual Oreo cake. If you've never had an Oreo cake, I'm going to show you how to make one in this video today. The ingredients you need for this recipe are 1 box of vanilla cake mix, milk, Oreo, eggs, oil, vanilla essence, and for the whipping cream or the frosting, for the frosting you will need whipping cream, powdered sugar. You're going to incorporate some Oreos in there. I'm going to show you how to do it, and some vanilla essence. First thing you need to do is to grease your pan with butter and flour and just leave this aside. To a bowl, add the 3 eggs and beat it up until it doubles in volume or looks like this. Then you're going to add 1 cup of milk, along with the oil, 1/3 cup of oil, a splash of vanilla. Mix this all together for about 2 minutes. Next, add in the cake mix. And mix that in really well. Once you're finished mixing everything together, add 10 pieces of Oreo cookies to it with the cream. The cream is in there, and I've roughly broken these up. Add it to the batter. And then with the spatula, mix it in. You can add more or less cookies if you like. Once you've mixed this in, pour the cake batter into your greased baking tin. And you're going to put this in the oven to bake, following the baking directions on the back of the cake box. So in the oven this goes. In this bowl I have 8 pieces of Oreo cookies. I removed the filling. I'm going to put this in my NutriBullet blender. And I'm going to blend it up until it's like crumbly and like fine. I'll show you the texture. This is what the Oreo should look like after you finish blending it. It looks like dirt. It's loose, it's not clumpy, and make sure that there are no lumps in there, no pieces of Oreo. You want to make sure that it's smooth, because frosting is known to be smooth, and if there are any little chunks of Oreos in there when you're going to put it on the cake, it's not going to be nice and smooth. So this is how it should be. Set this aside, and now we're going to get on to whipping the cream. In here I have 2.5 cups of whipping cream. Whip this until you form soft peaks. Then we're going to add in the powdered sugar, vanilla essence, and the Oreo. Once the cream is something like this, you're going to add in the powdered sugar, So I'm just gonna add 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar first. Then I'm gonna taste it, and if it needs more, I'm gonna add it in. You can add more or less the amount of sugar, depending on how sweet you like your frosting. And the vanilla essence. Mix this well. And at last, when you're going to whip this cream until you get stiff peaks. And after you've formed stiff peaks, we're going to fold in the Oreo using a spatula. Okay, when you're finished whipping the cream to get stiff peaks, you're going to add in the Oreo. And mix it in there like so. Make sure you mix it in well. After you're finished mixing in the Oreo in the whipped cream, it should look like this. And now we are going to wait until the cake is completely cool before we apply the frosting on it. Alright guys, it's time to frost the cake. So remove it from the pan. Slide it on your turntable if you have one. Alright, now apply frosting on the cake. And spread it out. I have a few tips for you guys that you may find helpful when it comes to making frosting. So the first tip is make sure that your whipping cream are in the fridge and make sure that it's cold. The colder the whipping cream, the better results you will have making frosting. Also, the bowl that you will be making the frosting in, you can put that in the fridge, let it get cool a little bit. And also, the 2 little things that you attached to the machine to whip up the frosting, I also like to put that in the fridge to cool up. The cooler all your stuff is, the better frosting you will have for your cake. The frosting that I have made today, it's too soft. I cannot throw this out. I still applied it on the cake and I put the cake in the fridge. Hopefully that will help the frosting to firm up. So this is too soft, and if I were to whip this anymore, I would get buttermilk instead of a nice stiff frosting. You do not want to over mix the frosting or else you're gonna get buttermilk instead of stiff peaks. It happened to me a various amount of times. So I hope you guys find those tips helpful.